Hi everyone, this is But Useless with a tutorial on Trainz. This is part 1. This is going to be all discussing just the basics of how to put tracks down, points, curves. We're going to deal with gradients, and then we'll move on to a little bit more intricate operations, including industries, in later tutorials. Okay, so let's, as you can see, I've just got the route name up at the moment. We'll just put it in tutorial. It'll make it easier to find later on. I usually select Switzerland. Switzerland, just the geographical region, just allows you to select, I suppose, different categories of stock items. I always deal with real scale and keep it in metric. Okay, so this is the platform. Now we can add different sides to this particular tabletop. Now when you go to lay track, the reason why I'm going to start laying track like I do is because I need to be able to snap some items like tunnels to the grid, and I find that this is going to be the easiest way of doing it. Now we're also going to just quickly jump into layers. Now layers, you can see on the right hand side here, that has a root layer as the default. Now what you do is you can put in different layers for different things. I'll give you an example. Let's just put in a scenery. Now the scenery, what that does is by putting in these different layers, allows you to switch items off, because later on when your layouts become intricate, then you need to be able to switch items off so the CPU can still maintain smooth graphics, etc. So you can just put anything you like into them. Obviously root layer is going to be a track, which is pretty important. Scenery, you can do industry, you can do lots of items, and switch them off. Just be careful when you start using layers though, which layer you're in. If you're laying track and you're in a scenery and you turn the scenery off, you're going to lose some of your track, and so you just got to be a little bit cautious about these things. Okay, so let's just go back to your root layer, get into tracks. Now I usually select one track concrete. It's a bit of a favourite of mine, I suppose, and it depends on what region you are and what type of track you know. It could be, depends on whether it's modern or it's you know, you're dealing with steam or something. It depends on what track. But for the purposes of demonstration, we're just going to use the one concrete. Okay, I'm using a Trainz, a new era here. I haven't upgraded to 2019 or anything yet. Okay, so let's lay some track. The plus sign, of course, is add track. So all you do is just left mouse button and just pull the track down. Now I've actually I'm putting the track next door to one of the grid lines. The reason why I'm doing that is, as you'll see in a second, because I'm going to put in a tunnel, and the tunnel snapped to the grid. So especially if it's a double track. When you're laying tracks close together, shift key is important, and that's the default to be able to lay track. Now one thing I'm just going to quickly show you is I'm actually got the circles, this circle close to the line, and the same is going to be for the other side. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because I need to be able to separate the track at the right distance, and I'm finding this is the easiest way to do it. So as you can see, I'm just going to drag that track over to, as you can see, this point where the white is just coming across there. We're going to just lay down a couple, maybe a platform into here as well. Just flip into the objects, and there's the platform 8, which I've previously selected, so that's why it's come up. Obviously the platform 8, whoops, platform 8, you just gotta, when you put it down, you've got to have it a bit further away from the track, otherwise it thinks it's going to join the track, and of course you can't do that. And we'll just put one on the side. And now we're just going to actually move the track. That's the move one, a bit closer. I'll just zoom up. And now you can see here that I'm actually putting it pretty close to the track. And we'll do the same down this side. And the reason being is the measurement of a carriage. You don't want the people obviously to get out of the carriage and into your straight onto a track. So they're fairly close together. And we'll just go down here and fix up this one. Now the other thing, of course, is when you go back to the track, and if you want to just test to see what it's like, you can always just lay down a quick carriage. So you can just go down to here, grab a grab a carriage, and just pop it on. Now you can see there, you can see how the distance is between the carriage and the platform. You need some distance though, because sometimes you have curves very close to platforms as you're coming in. Of course you can't strike the platform, so you can just be a little bit conscious of that. That's just on the other side. Personally I think that should be a bit closer, but we won't worry about it for this demo. Okay, let's go back to the tracks. Now, platforms, that one there is of course straighten track, so just straighten both those, even though they're straight at the moment. When you start dealing with curves, you don't want it to start bending. The track should probably be a bit further over. You can see the yellow line is starting to disappear on this one. So I'll just move that one a bit further over. Just straighten it up. We can flick back to the platform just to square that up as well. Right, now it's now to add tracks, of course you can actually just click on the actual one and just drag it out. If you do that, I'm still in not adding, I'm in moving. Okay, now we're just going to click up here somewhere, and I'll do the same for this one. Now you can use double track and stuff, but then you'll get different double tracks at different widths and between the tracks, and I think that's frustrating. I find it's easier to manipulate single tracks. Okay, so let's just go to a tunnel. So there's platforms, there's your tracks, and now we'll just do tunnel. Okay, so on the tunnel, I'll just go to tunnel Euro. It's the black one, as you can see. Well, it doesn't matter which one, I'll just keep it straight for this purpose. Now, as you can see, it's snapped automatically to the grid. That's why I started that off like I did. And then you can just drag them through. And there we go. Now, as you move, you can see the shimmer on the actual track. It's because the ground topography is too low. So you can just get rid of that shimmer, because it's quite annoying just by raising your mountains around it. I've just gone for my sensitivity fairly high. It's probably too high. It is Switzerland after all. I'll just flip it around the side and do that. We can come back to that later. Okay, now we've got tunnels, we've got a platform, we've got that. Now we're going to deal with curves. Okay, so we go back to our track. We'll add some track on this side. And I've still got the tunnel up, as you saw the error. Now, you just go to Get, and that will bring up your track straight away that you previously used. So you'll use Get quite a lot. Okay, so now we're going to just get the track moving somewhere else. I'll put in a points here so both tracks can be used. Now when you're dealing with points, in Australia we use the word points, of course. You know, curves are you want to keep it fairly natural looking. So when you're putting in points, my suggestion is you put an extra spline in before you connect the tracks, because as you can see, it just doesn't look right. So by putting an extra spline in, and again you have to hold the shift key down, it will allow you to alter that spline to make it look smoother. Oops, and of course I need to stretch that one out a bit further. And we'll just add this one in. That was an auto save. And then we'll just deal. There we go. Now if I go up, and you can see that if you want to be really fussy about this, you can see that the curve of it sort of bends out a bit here from the track. So that's why I put the extra one in, because if I just go to move, I can just make it a bit smoother in a straighter line in this point. Okay, and there's your switch there. So that's starting to look quite smooth. Okay, now let's move down here. I'm going to start dealing with a curve now. So now look, some people get really fussy about curves. I wouldn't, you know, they get their little measuring tools out and stuff. I just think that's crazy. You can do it by sight. I'm sure you're smart enough. Now the secret is just to put a few splines in. So to make a curve. Now curves, of course, traditionally are smooth, you know, obviously speed, you know, derailments and things like that. Okay, so to deal with this, you'll notice that this part here has got a slight bend on it, so you just straighten that track. Then it will give you a nice curve into here, and you do the same for the last one that's over here. Now I find the easiest way to deal with curves is to go just vertical. That's the up cursor, of course, it's the default. And what you're trying to do is just smooth out this portion here. As you can see, a sort of a kink there. So it's just about how you can just change these. And of course, it's usually just equidistance is what you're going to be dealing with. This curve here needs to be straight. So as you can see, by doing that, it doesn't look too bad. Probably just a slow bend in. I might just drag that one back a bit, because then it'll stretch this particular curve here. It's probably not too bad. And we'll just go like that. And then so when you go back down, now you notice these things when you're actually driving the trains. You know, you after you put it down, you go, oh my God, you know, tracks aren't built like that. So, you know, it's easy to fix, but first of all, before you put any scenery down and stuff, you lay your tracks, yeah. Okay, so that's the curve done. Now we're going to deal with the gradients. Now, let's just say that this particular track is going to head up this way, and we're going to deal, I'm just going to deal with a straight gradient, the straight track. So I'm just going to continue this along this way. Just put a few of these in. Yeah, I'll just end it about here. You'll see in a moment why. I'm just doing a small one. Okay, that's not that straight, so I'll just square that one up. Again, you can just hit the straight track for each of them, just to make doubly sure they're nice and straight. Okay, now gradients. Now let's say we're going to be putting a bridge in here. Now the easiest rule of thumb to get a nice gradient is you open up your advanced, and then all you do is you go to this one here. This is get gradient. That's apply gradient. So you actually type in the value. 1.50 is what I use. And I'll start the gradient after the point. So you've got to be... Now, I might just go 2, because I might just have this line go straight ahead. So what I do is, when you after you type that, you've got to go to apply gradient. Now this is the part that you need to really be cautious of. If you want the gradient to go up this way, then you actually left click this half of the track between splines. Here's another spline, half of the track. It's on the right hand side if I want the gradient to go up that way. Left click. And as you can see, it's starting to go up. And we do the same for that one. Do the same for that one. And that one. And the last one. Oops. No, I didn't quite do that correctly. Still doesn't there because I'm not close enough. And there we go. Now, if you go down to the bottom, you can see, whoops, you can see how smooth that is all the way around there. Alright, now 1.5, it won't be an effort for your Trainz to get up, that's for sure. Okay, now the reason why I didn't start it until here is because you want to smooth off the land, and to do smoothing of the land you use this one here, smooth spline, and as soon as you click on it you can see that the earth is rising up around it, and then you can model off that. Okay, now we're going to deal with the bridge. Now that's not high enough to be able to deal with a carriage underneath on top of a track. For purposes of this particular demo, we won't worry about that too much. We'll just say it's going over a river or something like that. Now, you'll need a train track on the other side of the bridge. So we'll just go back to add train tracks. As you can see, the spline point is here. So we'll just do something similar over to here. And just click it there. Now, if you need some extra room on the board, you can just go straight up here to the topology button, and down the bottom left is add update ground X, and just click on the space over on the side here, and bang, there's an extra one for you. Back to Trainz again, back to lines I should say, to root, and then we'll just send this on its merry way down here. Now, we know what the gradient is here, 1.5, but unless you want your bridge to go up, you'll keep your bridges fairly flat, or horizontal I should say. We'll bring up a bridge. You'll notice that we need this side this side to be the same height as this side. So to do that, we just go down to get gradient. So you get gradient, click on the spline, and so get the vertex height as that one, and then you click on that particular spine. It comes up as 4.80, as you can see there, and to apply it to that side it's just this button here, and as you can see I've already got it there, and I can click it on those three, and then just to make it look good I can just quickly get the earth to do the earth here as well. Now don't worry too much just at the moment that the earth is only going this far along the track. We'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, let's talk about bridges. Now, when it comes to bridges, everybody has probably the one that they're going to use for their particular scenario. So I'm just going to type in bridge, and that's a concrete bridge. Now we're talking about sides here, not so much the actual track. Bridge, brick, steel. As you can see, that's the one that I'm going to be using. It's usually a bit of a go-to one most of the time. Okay, so what we're doing here is all I'm doing is we know that the height value is here, and I'm going to apply it to the vertex. As you can see, it's that simple. Now, when it comes to bridges, some of them have this portion here, which is the pylon, in the wrong spot. So you actually have to stretch the bridge to compensate. As you can see, it won't be so small, but when you grow the bridge with the girders, it will actually change the viaduct, and there is, you can see it there. It's changed it. Now, in this case, that's not going to be, it's not suitable. So you might choose a different bridge. But we're just going to put this bridge in here, just so it's over a ravine or something like that. So I'll just move this now over to here somewhere. Move this one over to here, and pop it in. Now you can go just vertical to be able to see, to line it all up. I'll just keep it back a bit because that will allow me to snap the track, because you can't snap the bridge to the track. And now I'll just go to this here, just put them on top of each other, and it will just snap straight to that particular. That's why I suggested not being too close. And as you can see, it's being annoying. So I'll just drop it right back, and then I can grab and then I'll just bring the whole lot over again. Straighten it up. And there's your bridge in place. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can't use this one, which is smooth spline. You'll have to go to topology, and use this one here to update ground X. You can just take the value from this one if you want it, 4.8, and just type that straight into here, just 4.80. Actually, we'll just go to add update ground X. Now I'm just right clicking that. Actually, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. It's the get value. It's that one. You can type in 4.80 and just apply, or you can just go to get value and just click there. That's 4.52, and then you can just use a smaller radius to be able to bring that out. As you can see, you can just bring it out a little bit more. That just allows for the bridge to be connected to the ground, and we'll do the same here. Personally, I think that's a bit too low, so we'll just get that value again. It says 4.73, so we'll just bring that up to 4.73, and we'll do the same on this side. As you can see, it was a bit low. And the gradient's going down on that side, that's why I had the wrong value. So all you need to do there is just go back to your track, go back to there and just left click on the line, and it will smooth it off. And as you can see, that's your bridge. Okay, so as a quick recap, that's just we've dealt with laying your first tracks, platforms, put them on the grid properly, tunnel. We can go into more detail on tunnels later. Gradients, a bridge connection, and spline heights. So now we'll just move on to part 2.